Hi, I'm Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Valentine's Day is one of my favorite holidays. It is just so easy to make it a really special and fun holiday for those you love. Today I'm going to show you how to make the heart block. The heart block is awesome because it's easy, it's quick, and there are just so many things you can use it in, and I've just got a bunch of different ideas for you, so I hope you enjoy this. So to make the Valentine block, you're going to need 1 layer cake square and 3 charm pack squares. I have a white charm pack here, and I have my pink polka dot layer cake square, and I cut my layer cake square into 4 pieces, 4 equal pieces. I just cut it right down the middle and this way, and that gives me 4 pieces. I have a charm pack here, the white charm squares. 2 of these we're going to iron in half to give us a diagonal line. This is going to make the bottom point of our Valentine block. So we're going to iron these in half. And we're going to put these on here, like this. And we're going to sew directly on this line. Now, I don't like waste, remember, so because this is going to be a big piece that we have left over here, I'm going to turn this right around and sew it down again, and we'll use that part for another project. So let's go ahead and sew right down this line right here. Okay, we're going to line up our needle right on that line because we're sewing on. You can either draw the line or you can iron it. I like to iron it, it's just quicker. So we're going to sew straight down there. And then before we take this out, remember, I'm just going to turn it around and I'm going to sew down the other side, any side, either side. Oops, I'm caught a little bit. There we go. And I'm just leaving enough space in between so that I have room to for a seam allowance. So you can see right here. So I got some threads going on there. You can see right here, I have these 2 seam lines sewn right here. You can see the 2 seam lines, and I'm just going to cut right in between those because the piece I need for my project for this heart block is going to be the big piece right here. So we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to have this piece right here. So I'm going to iron that open, and again, we're going to put this salvage edge on the dark side. We don't want it to show up behind the white block. So we lay our dark on the top, and we just kind of roll and press that back. So can you see this is going to be the bottom of our heart, so we're going to go ahead and do that again on the other side. Whoops. Whew, that disappeared fast. Have a little string on there. Let me get that off of there. Okay, now this one we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sew right along the folded edge right here, and then flip it around and trim the other side. All right, here we go. And then we're going to sew right along the edge. There we go. We're going to trim this. And again, see there's, you know, it may not be quite 1/4 of an inch, so I'm just going to kind of, you know, half it. And I'll set that aside. And then we're going to iron this open. And again, you put your dark piece on the top so you can just roll it back. And that makes the bottom half of our heart. Now for the top half of the heart, what you're going to need is 1 charm square that you've cut into 4 pieces. So they're 2.5 inch squares now. And we're going to draw or press a line for those. And I've got 1 more to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to set these on the edge of our charm square like this, and we're going to sew down. What we're trying to accomplish here is to make the pointed top. So we're going to put 1 on this corner. Let's just do 1 at a time. And we're going to sew right along the crease line. And you could do the same thing on these top squares that you did on the bottom, but it's a smaller piece, so I'm just going to let that go. And I'm just going to trim this away right here. See me trimming. And I'm going to press this one back. And then I'm going to lay the other square right here on the other corner. There we go. Make sure you got those going the right direction. And then we're going to sew on this crease line, and that will make the top of this heart. All right, so now I'm going to trim this off right here, and I'm going to press that back. Now this time I'm not pressing to the dark, I'm pressing to the light, because you just kind of have to roll those tops over. There's the start of the top of our heart, and in case you missed it, we get to do it again. So we're going to put one block on the top of our charm square, and we're going to sew along that crease. And we're going to clip and iron, and then put the other one on there, just like that, because we're trying to make points for the top of our heart. And we'll start right down on that, sew on that crease again. We don't really need to backstitch in quilting because all those seams are enclosed in another seam. So if you are a backstitcher and you like to backstitch, you just go right ahead. But if you're not, don't worry over it, because all those seams get enclosed in another seam. Okay, so now we have to put our heart together. The easiest way I found to do this, and the way I think it lays the best, is for us to put the two halves together like this, and then join our halves this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold these up right here, and we're going to put these halves together first. So here we are. You're going to use your 1/4 inch seam. And with these hearts, it really is easy just to lay it out. You know, make sure that it's all going the right direction. And I say that from experience, so you know I have picked a little in my life. All right, now we're going to press this open right here. There we go, half a heart. Now we're going to put this one together. So right across here. And then it's going to be like assembling a 4-patch. Okay, here we go. So we're all together. And I am going to press that. Now remember, when we assemble a 4-patch, what we want to match is that middle seam. So we're going to put, now see, I have mine, so my seams are both pressed the same direction. So I'm going to go ahead and repress this one down, because I want those seams to nest. I don't want a bubble in the middle of my heart, so I want them to just nest right together. So this is what I mean by nesting. And see how they just lay, one seam goes one direction, one seam goes the other, just like this. So it gets you can see the two seams line up, one goes one direction, one goes the other. And then you're able to, you'll have a nice flat center of your 4-patch. And so let's just go ahead and then I always check to make sure my middle seam is still lined up. And then I'm going to check down here too to make sure that your little points on the tail of your heart can also nest. So mine are going to nest down there as well. And we're going to get this out of here and iron it. There we go. Let me clip these threads so it looks pretty when I show you the finished product. Get it all clipped up over here. I don't know why I got a thread coming out there, but I'll clip that off. So there's your finished heart right there. Isn't that adorable? So let me show you some of the things that you can do with this darling little heart block. Okay, I have here made a quilt with the heart blocks, and you can see I separated my lights from my darks. So I used a layer cake and took the light ones and put the dark red on the light edges, use those, and I put the white on the dark ones, and then I did just the opposite. So what I did with this, so like I have this lighter heart here, the dark red around it, and then I sashed the whole square, so I made a block. And so then the light one I did just the opposite and put it right next to it. It has the red. And so when you're putting them together, you're just putting whole blocks together. So it goes together really cute, really quick. It looks like you spent a lot of time and sashed and worked really fast and easy. This quilt for the 20 blocks ends up being about, I think about 60 by 70, somewhere around there. We used 3/4 of a yard for the border, and we used about a yard in sashing. And then you'll need your charm pack and your layer cake for your heart pieces. The other things I've done was I took some of those heart blocks and I made a little table topper right here. You can see how cute this is. I just took the block and I just sashed down in between them. I put a row of sashing here and a row of sashing here with a block in the center. Turned them different ways, give it a kind of fun, modern look, you know, something different. Put in the middle of a table. If you have a smaller table, this is a darling, just really a darling little piece on it. This is that chemistry line, and it's just so cute. Also, I took the hearts and I turned them upside, downside. You know, I have a long table, and you know, I like things that go both directions, so you don't ever feel like you're sitting on the wrong side of the table. So this is really cute because there's always a heart that's going in your direction, and it's just really cute. I just put a little bit of sashing between my block and then sashed around them, a little bit of border. And so like these two things, and were all made from one charm pack, because this charm pack happens to have 4 pieces in it. This one here, up here, this is a layer cake, and there's quite a few layer cake pieces left over that I could also make some more pieces for that. Now, one thing that I wanted to show you is these are the pieces, these are the little corners that I cut off. And so remember, we have these over here, these little pieces that I cut off the tail of my heart. Well, I just ironed them open, just like this, and then you'll want to square them up because you didn't have an exact line on that. You'll want to kind of square them up and make sure that they're the same size. These are the same size, so then when you put them together, you can put them together light and dark. And if you look online or you know, in a book or something like that, this is a half square triangle. When you use a half square triangle, there are just a zillion things to do with it. So I had an extra heart block like this sitting out on the table in the back of the shop, and people were messing with it, and they went ahead and put it together, made one so that it, well, let me see if I can get it together really quick here and show you. It's just so cute. I had this extra heart block right here, and then the pieces from my hearts, and you know, they put it together this way, and then you keep going, so it gives the heart the look that it's set on point and being surrounded. See how cute this is? And this is, again, just, it becomes that kind of fun puzzly thing that, you know, you just want to try and do different stuff. And so then you're going to go ahead and put your white out here and have another row come out. Can you see how this is going to go here? Wait a minute. There we go, this way. And see, you'll just have these rows like this around your heart. So cute. And so there's just all kinds of different things you can do with this heart block. Just easy and quick. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Happy Valentine's Day from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.